How's it going, guys? It's Deathmark here. Today we're going to be talking about some rather interesting information concerning the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign. Now, just over a month ago, maybe up to 2 months ago, we actually got a interesting about 8-minute, maybe 10-minute campaign gameplay footage that we got earlier this year, which if you haven't checked out already, I'll leave this added at the end of the video and link down in the description. But apparently we've actually got a rather interesting storyline trailer to react to, and there's also a blog post. So without further ado, guys, I'm just going to show you this rather interesting piece of footage. Let me know what you guys' opinions of it in the comments box down below, and without further ado, let's check this out.
The covert world of Black Ops began in 1961, when CIA operatives Frank Woods, Alex Mason, and Jason Hudson set off on a decade-long journey through the darkest corners of the world. That journey culminated in 1968, when they stopped a plot to activate deadly sleeper agents embedded inside the United States. 13 years later, at the height of the Cold War, Mason, Woods, and Hudson joined fellow operative Russell Adler. Together, they hunted down the Soviet spy Perseus, leader of a rogue organization intent on dismantling the West. In 1981, Adler's team prevented Perseus from detonating dozens of neutron bombs placed across Europe. Flash forward to 1986, Mason, Woods, and Hudson learned that South American cartel boss Raul Menendez had moles within the CIA. They tracked the drug lord to Nicaragua, where Woods, after a fierce battle with Menendez, presumed him killed in action. 3 years later, in 1989, a CIA operation in Panama ended tragically when Woods was tricked into shooting and killing his best friend, Alex Mason. Raul Menendez, back from the dead, captured Woods and revealed himself as the mastermind behind the Panama plot. He then killed Hudson and shot Woods, leaving him maimed but alive, so that Woods might suffer as Menendez had suffered. Now, every sacrifice, every secret, every conspiracy has led them to the year 1991. In a time when the enemy has eyes everywhere, how do you know who to trust?
So that's really interesting there, guys. Let me know what you guys' views and opinions are in the comments box down below. So, as you guys heard, that's basically more or less what has happened so far in the storyline thus far. So, just to give you a bit of a background here now, you will have noticed if you look at the story so far that some of these games are not in order as to when they came out, so to speak. So in order was Black Ops 2, I think it was like then Black Ops 3, then Black Ops 4, then Black Ops Cold War, and basically it wouldn't make sense time frame wise if they were placed in that order, but if they placed them in chronological order, it would be Black Ops 1, Black Ops Cold War, and Black Ops 2. So that is really interesting there. So Call of Duty Black Ops, we had of course Operation 40. I think this was the one during the Bay of Pigs invasion where we tried to look for the Cuban Fidel Castro, but the only person that we decided to assassinate was actually a double of him, basically. So that's really interesting. The Numbers program, aka Project Ascension. Of course, this was when Alex Mason was held captive in Fortnite, which is going to be one of the brand new maps of Black Ops 6. German scientist Friedrich Steiner, under orders from Nikita Dragovich, began to brainwash Mason via the Numbers program, hence the quote, "The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?" The intent is to turn Mason into a sleeper agent who, upon receiving a number code, will awaken and complete the mission he has been brainwashed to perform, which was to assassinate President JFK. So that was really interesting. Then Reznov, however, has his own vendetta against Dragovich, Kravchenko, and Steiner, who betrayed him following the Battle of Berlin. So, and he was trying to brainwash Mason during the imprisonment with orders to hunt down and eliminate the trio. So that was really interesting. Then there was deployment to Vietnam. So following Kennedy's orders, Alex Mason, Frank Woods, and Bowman pursued Dragovich and Kravchenko in Vietnam. 3 are captured and taken to a POW camp. Bowman resulted in KIA. Woods is forced to play Russian roulette with a revolver pistol, delivering one of his most iconic lines, "You can't bleep me." So that's really interesting. Then there was an ending transmission and eliminating Dragovich, hence the end of that campaign. So We encountered him in an underwater facility, and Alex Mason encountered and drowned Dragovich. So that's really interesting there. In Black Ops Cold War, telling the story of conspiracy decades in the making. Very, very interesting. It featured Alex Mason, Frank Woods, and Jason Hudson, who was, I think, if not mistaken, was Mason's handler, if not mistaken, during the campaign. New cast of operatives to unravel a global terrorist plot, including the new playable character codenamed Bell, who served with one Russell Adler during the Vietnam War. Our mission was to uncover a guy called Perseus, who was basically threatening to destroy the West with, as you guys saw from that trailer, certain atomic bombs, if that makes sense. President Ronald Reagan greenlights a mission to hunt him down and kill the leader by any means necessary, with the assistance of Helen Park, Lawrence Sims, and Lazar Azulay. So that was really interesting. The team discovers that Perseus had found about the CIA program Operation Greenlight, in which neutron bombs were placed in major European cities with the intent to self-destruct if the Soviets were to invade and take control. So that's fairly interesting. Then we raided the Perseus HQ. When the original memories resurfaced, Bell led the team to Perseus headquarters and destroys the detonation code transmitter, thus saving Europe and preventing a major catastrophe. Perseus, however, evaded capture. So that was really interesting. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, we had to save Woods, who we don't know exactly how he ended up in Africa in the first place, but he retired from service to visit his son David, or David, however you want to interpret his name, but he was otherwise known as Section, if I'm not mistaken, in Black Ops 2. Is it Black Ops 2 or is it a different game? I'll have to double check that. Anyway, Woods got captured during an investigation into a smuggling ring in Central Africa. Though reluctant, Alex must save his friend and so leaves David Mason behind to join the rescue operation. This ends up being the last time David saw his father alive. He then discovers that Woods had been left for dead in a shipping container on the Kibango River in Angola. Mason finds and saves Woods, the only one of his group to survive, and discovers that Woods had been captured by Raul Menendez. After recovering, Woods wanted revenge on Menendez and deployed to Afghanistan to help the military in a fight against the Soviets. So that's really interesting. I think Raul Menendez actually tried to get to his sister Josefina at his home in Nicaragua. And it looks like that during the chaos, that Woods became enraged with Menendez and threw a grenade, accidentally killing Menendez's sister Josefina in the blast. So that was rather interesting there. Fast forward to 89, Woods and Mason are in Panama during the American invasion, seeking a target known as Nexus 1. Woods ended up seeing Nexus 1 through a sniper scope, a bag over his head to hide his identity. Over comms, Hudson, who has been captured and forced to relay this false information by Menendez, tells Woods that Nexus 1 is Raul Menendez and directs Woods to execute him. Woods took the bait and shoots Nexus 1, only to discover that he was tricked and executed his friend Alex Mason. So this basically proves that Alex Mason's death is actually canon to the storyline. Raul Menendez appears and shoots Woods in the knees, establishing his need for a wheelchair in the 1991 Black Ops 6 timeline, which we'll see during the campaign. Afterwards, Hudson sacrificed himself so that Woods may live. I don't actually remember that specific mission. Woods will suffer as Menendez has suffered from the loss of his sister David. David, Alex's son, is also present for his father's death, joining Woods in the immense suffering the events caused. Black Ops 2 also takes place in the future of 2025, though these events occur after the 1991 timeline of Black Ops 6. So that was really interesting. We've also got different biographies of the three characters for those who are not familiar with them. So I've got Helen Park, Russell Adler, and Frank Woods. Every sacrifice, every secret, every conspiracy led to the year 91, in a time when the enemy is everywhere. How do you know who to trust? Check back soon for part 2 of the story so far, when we'll take a closer look at the Black Ops 6 narrative, along with new faces joining the cast. Part 2 will also share the campaign rewards you'll earn for progressing in the story, upgrading your Black Ops safe house, and completing calling card challenges. So that's really interesting there, guys. Let me know what you guys' views and opinions of this in the comments box down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so don't miss an upload, and I'll see you soon in another video, guys. Until then, peace out.